All right, good evening to you from the Storm Alert Weather Center. It's 5:15 Central Time. We want to give everyone an update on what the weather situation is unfolding now across the U.S. and how this is going to impact our area. This is probably one of the highest potential of severe weather that we've had in a long time. The western part of the state in a moderate risk with a particularly dangerous situation for tornadoes and severe thunderstorms and damaging wind. In fact, I don't recall even the December 10th and the 11th tornado outbreak that it was rated as a PDS or a particularly a dangerous situation. But now most of that area is in that situation, and we'll take a look at some of the things. I want you to pay close attention as we go along. One of the things I want to tell you that this is not the run-of-the-mill thunderstorms that's going to evolve and nothing happen. This is a high-end severe weather event, and what I'm asking everyone to do, if you're in a mobile home or if you're in a shelter a shelter that's not substantial, that would be a risk or vulnerable to wind 70 plus mile an hour or a tornado, I would suggest that you find a safe place to be. I would probably try to make arrangements now and to be there. I know some people are looking for people with homes with basements to couch out through the evening and possibly into the early morning hours, and that would be a smart thing to do. This is not to hype or to get people scared or upset. It's simply a fact that this is a very unique situation and we need to treat it very, very carefully. So if you're the type of person that is scared of storms, if you live in a mobile home or a place that isn't very secure, you need to find some place, start making arrangements now before the storms hit. Looking at the current Doppler radar, this is what we're seeing now. This is live radar data. This is over in Missouri and parts of Illinois. And you can see those storms beginning to track off in closer to our region, still several hours away. But we're looking at those storms beginning to develop, and that's going to be what we're watching throughout the remaining part of the evening and into the nighttime hours. Currently, just to the southwest of St. Louis, we do have one severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect, or a tornado warning. One tornado warning that's in effect, and that would be just right around just west of St. Louis, have a tornado warning there. And then the severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect cover most of that region. All of that squall line that we showed you is there's multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. And this is all moving to Kentucky. This is all moving to the bluegrass. And we have to be vigilant tonight for those particular storms. I've got my storm cellar ready. And if something happens that I need to be in my safe place, then I have a place to go. But again, if you look at this, storm warnings and one tornado warning that is in effect for Missouri, and that's all moving to our location. So you need to be heads up, be alert to what's going on throughout the evening. All right, the next thing is kind of depressing, if you want to say. Most of the time we say, well, beautiful skies, Well, I want to show you what we're seeing now. This is a look at the satellite imagery for Kentucky. And as we bring things closer to home, you can see that we are clearing out. Sunshine is taking over, prevailing across the area. We've watched that for the last couple of hours or so, and now we're beginning to see the clouds move out and the sun come out. Whenever we have that happen, that is helping to breed and to fuel the atmosphere for severe weather later on tonight. No watches or warnings anywhere in effect for us, but it is likely we will see watches as we go into the late night hours. Because of the late night hour threat, then people need to have multiple ways to receive warnings and be updated and informed as those storms move through later on tonight. It's going to be worse than it was, potentially worse than it was this morning. We have reports of trees down on homes, cars, I think on the lake, or a couple of houseboats that were torn away and floating just down the waterways. A lot of damage across Kentucky as those storms have moved through. And that first line is still continuing. It's made its way through West Virginia and now into parts of Virginia as well, still kicking quite a punch as those storms move through. But that is for those other places. And you can see, look how on the rate of satellite imagery, how those storms evolve over into Missouri. And when you see those begin to pop up, look at this large area and how those storms evolve. Look at that. Absolutely impressive. So it's going to be an interesting evening across the state. We have to be vigilant. We have to use common sense. And if we look at the future radar, now this is a product that we have that will kind of tell us the estimated when those storms will be in a particular place. So we're going to look at Western Kentucky first. And I want to bring out something very important with this. This is looking at between 8 and 2 a.m. in the morning, between 8 and 2. Right now, if we look at the radar, the future radar, and see these storms start to fire out ahead of this front, this is about 9 o'clock Central Time. Still hasn't made it all the way into Kentucky as of yet. And again, these timelines are estimated, so don't get caught up on this being the gospel. It'll have to be, you can give or take. Storms speed up, they slow down, they have all type of variety of things going on. But the one thing that we're concerned about as we look at these storms develop, this is around 10 p.m. Central Time. They're around now, around Benton, Madisonville, Sturgis, Evansville, Indiana. That's where the storms are. What is troublesome, if you are in meteorology and you're following this, it's these isolated cells that pop out ahead of the front, and which could become supercell thunderstorms, which is breeding grounds for tornadoes. If they can get off by themselves as a supercell, as a tornadic thunderstorm, many times those can be long track tornadoes. And this is something we're having to watch. This is in Western Kentucky. Now, the next hour, this will be about 11 o'clock. It begins to get closer to the Bowling Green region and E-Town, Louisville. Those are the areas that we're looking at, approximately 11 o'clock for this area. And again, you can continue to see those pop-up cells that come out ahead of the front as you can see, and those would be concerning. That would be very concerning to us if that was going on in a live setting. This is a future radar, and this is at 11 o'clock Central Time, expected later on this evening. The next update would show Bowling Green around midnight, and again, we're not dead set on times. It's just a fact that it's going to come. We just don't know exactly the minute that it's going to happen. So here we are in the Bowling Green region. Again, this is around midnight Central Time. And then we will watch the storms continue to evolve. And the next step would be towards south central Kentucky around 1 o'clock in the morning. This, again, is a model, a projection of what we think or what the models feel like is the best timing for any particular place. So if you happen to see purple over your county, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen the way it's showing. Now, at 2 a.m. Central or 3 a.m. Eastern, you can see it bypassing out of the Lake Cumberland area into the eastern Kentucky. Of course, our coverage area begins Russell and surrounding counties, and we're going to monitor the situation. And if things get really bad between now and then, we may go live ahead of the storms as they enter into our coverage area. If it gets bad in Bowling Green or wherever, we may do some severe weather coverage a little bit farther to the west to give people an opportunity to prepare. But now the storms would be over around Jackson, around Beattyville, somewhere around 2 a.m. on Monday morning, or 3 a.m. Eastern Time on Monday morning, and play the system on out. Let's see, let's give us a couple of hours here. At 4 o'clock in the morning, we can look at the radar, and then those storms have already passed out of Kentucky, entering into places like Big Stone Gap, Virginia, Bristol, Tennessee, and places near that, even Coburn, Virginia. We would see the storms moving into that area. So looking real quickly at what we're anticipating tonight, we're going to go through the timelines again, and we want you to be prepared about this. Simply stating, if you are not in a safe place that will endure a significant severe thunderstorm or a possible tornado, then you need to find that safe place, know where you're going now before the storms hit. This is future radar, predictive radar, and this is where the models think that the storms will be at about 8 o'clock Central Time this evening, still in Missouri, still in Illinois. And as the storms continue to develop and evolve, we will see them come more closer to Kentucky. That's around 9 o'clock, enter into Kentucky. Evansville, Sturgis, Kentucky, even Eddyville. Those are the regions right about 9 o'clock that we could potentially see storms starting to evolve. Now, at 10 o'clock Central Time, becoming a little bit more organized over places like Murray, like Hopkinsville, even the places that we've seen tornadoes before, Dawson Springs and Mayfield. This is a tough time for folks over there. And this is what we're seeing about 10 o'clock tomorrow or tonight. And since most people are sleeping, you should have already had all your safety things, your weather radio program, your make sure your phone is charged. All of those things should have been taken care of before the storm hits. So that's at 9 o'clock. Moving up to about 11 o'clock, this is the HRRR model. Shows that about 11 o'clock it should be getting close to the Bowling Green metro area along I-65 between Louisville and Nashville. This is once again the models for there. Madisonville, Hopkinsville. This will be around 11 o'clock Central Time. If you go the next couple of hours, 12 o'clock, 12:15, storms should have already been over Bowling Green, E-Town, Shepherdsville, Bardstown, and into northern Tennessee, possibly as far south as Nashville. Then the next step would be a little after midnight. This will be about the 1 o'clock hour. We can see the storms begin to either be on or near the Lake Cumberland area as we make our way through the morning. So it's going to be a long nighttime, and again, this is a future radar. This shows what the models think that things will be like at a particular time. And what has us concerned about this moment? Well, if you can see, this is live satellite imagery. You can see the storm or the clouds and the rain begin to move out, and we have sunny skies here. In Russell Springs, we have sunny skies. Sunny skies with the environment that we have now is not our friend. And then if you look back to the west, as we showed you a few moments ago, look how those storms explode when they come closer into Missouri. Start to evolve. They are huge. And I want to look at one of the things that's called the cloud tops to see exactly how high the cloud tops are with this particular event. And I'm seeing if we have that. Yeah, I have cloud tops here. So if we look at the Missouri radar and look at the cloud tops, the higher the cloud tops, the better chance for severe weather. And you're looking at some of the cloud tops between 36, 40, 44,000 feet. There's 142. I know that's going to be high, 51,000 and 41,000. So those are impressive thunderstorms that are currently underway in Missouri. And all of those places that we mentioned are under severe thunderstorm warnings. And we have now a couple or three tornado warnings that are in effect for Missouri. This is the cloud tops with these storms, and you can see them coming up. And whenever you look at the radar imagery, you can see how they simply explode coming into that state. So at 5:32, again, man, that's impressive. And this is all headed toward our area, still several hours away. But we anticipate later on today, or later on this afternoon or evening, we anticipate a severe thunderstorm to develop, possibility of tornadoes, possibility, and the likelihood is real high of high winds, 70-mile-an-hour plus, as well as flooding potential. If we have those type of winds, we will see, because a lot of times because of the wet ground that we have, we're going to see trees down. We're going to see flooding and different things. So I would encourage everybody to be heads up. We do expect some type of watches to be issued later on tonight. or maybe into the morning hours. But if you live in Western Kentucky, and I have friends that follow us over there, our prayers are with you tonight, because I don't know what we're going to see, but the Storm Prediction Center upgraded you guys almost to the Bowling Green area, upgraded you to a moderate risk, particularly dangerous situation, tornado watch, and this is a high-level event, not only for Western Kentucky, but for us as well. Maybe not to the extreme of a PDS, particularly dangerous situation, but we're still at an elevated risk of severe storms later tonight. Wanted to get that word out to you. Just use common sense and be alert and be prepared in the case that a warning is issued. I would just take this opportunity to try to prepare for that and know where you're going in the event that a warning is issued. So we'll be here throughout the evening, and if necessary into the early morning hours on Monday, with the latest in weather details. Thank you for joining us from the Storm Alert Weather Center, your weather authority in South Central Kentucky.